And question says, question number three, that state the Newton's first law of motion. So quickly, can I have an answer from any of the student that what does the Newton's first law of motion says? An object, an object at rest continue to stay at rest or move with uniform velocity unless exerted by a resultant force. So if there is going to be an exertion of a resultant force, this is the statement of the Newton's first law of motion. Okay, coming to the part B, a block slides down a slope. So this is the block which is sliding downwards. The angle of the slope to the horizontal is 20 degree, and the box has a mass of 65 kg. So it is having a mass of 65 kg, right? And the total resistive force acting on the block is constant as it slides down. तो एक resistive force इसके ऊपर act कर रही है backward direction में. State the names and the direction of the other two forces act. Just a minute. Alright, I hope everyone is with me. There was a glitch in the internet connection. Yes, guys, are you with me? Okay, ji. So let's discuss it further. The angle of the slope is 20 degree. The box has a mass of 65 kg. The total resistive force acting on the box is constant as it slides down the slope. Question says state the names and direction of the two other forces acting on the box. So इस box के ऊपर दो forces लग रही होंगी. One of the force will be called as weight, and weight will be acting downward, right? So one of the force is what? It will be weight. And what is the other force? The other force will be the normal force. ठीक है, you are going to say normal force which is perpendicular to the plane, which is perpendicular to the slope, yeah, to the surface of a slope. Any of the name you can give it to this question. Okay, next is the variation with time t of the velocity v of the box as it moves down the slope is shown in figure 3.2. So this is the figure shown in front of you. Question says use data from the figure to show that the acceleration of the box is 2.6 meter per second. तो आपने acceleration find करनी है. How we can find out the acceleration? So we can see this graph is between velocity and time. So we know that the gradient of vt graph is basically equals to what? It is equals to acceleration. So to find out acceleration, what we are going to do, we will be finding out the gradient of this graph. So how a gradient will be found? We are going to select these 2 points. One of the point is this final one, which is 6 at a time of 2 and at a time of 0. This point is approximately equivalent to 0.2, 0.4, 0.6. This will be equals to 0.8, right? This will be equals to 0.8. So acceleration हमारे पास क्या आ जाएगी? Our acceleration will be v minus u over t. So what is the final velocity I'm going to get? Our final velocity will be 6. This will be like 6 minus my initial velocity will be 0.8. This is 0.8 in a time of how much? In a time of 2 seconds. So 6 minus 0.8 divided by 2. So 6 minus 0.8 is how much? It will be equals to 5.2 over 2, which will be equals to 2.6 meter per second square. So this is how you are going to find out the acceleration. Next question says you need to find the resultant force. How you find the resultant force? F is equals to ma. Force is equals to mass into acceleration. So you are having a acceleration in the above part, you're having a mass given in the question. What is the mass given to us in this whole question? The mass is equivalent to 65 kg. So 65 kg is the mass. If 65 kg is the mass is 65 kg, and acceleration is how much? The acceleration will be 2.6. So we will be multiplying 2.6 with 65. So our force will be equivalent to 169 newtons. So this resultant force will be equals to 169 newtons. Then we have to find out the resistive force of the on the box. So you can just see जो आपके पास diagram है, उस diagram में कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है, like there is going to be a box present on an inclined surface, and that inclined surface is present at an angle of what? It is present at an angle of 20 degree, right? It is present at an angle of 20 degree. This is 20 degree angle, right? So resistive force हमने निकालनी है जब ये slide down कर रहा है. So when it is sliding, resistive force will be backward. So there will be one force which is acting in the forward direction, right? So one of the component of the weight will be parallel to this surface. So ये आपके पास weight आ गया W, और इसका perpendicular component हम कैसे बनाएंगे? This will be its vertical component, this will be its horizontal component. तो ये वाला जो component, this inner part is 20, right? This inner part is 20, and this side will be equals to W sine of 20 degree. Means कि आपका जो forward force parallel आएगी, that will be equals to W sine of 20 degree के इक्वल होगी. ठीक है. तो अब आप इसके ऊपर resistive force अगर निकालनी है तो हम फॉर्मूला लगाएंगे. रिजल्टेंट फोर्स F इज इक्वल्स टू ma. ये नेट फोर्स है, ठीक है, ये रिजल्टेंट फोर्स है. रिजल्टेंट फोर्स इज इक्वल टू मास इनटू एक्सेलरेशन. रिजल्टेंट कैसे निकालते हैं? फॉरवर्ड फोर्स माइनस रेजिस्टिव फोर्स is equals to mass multiplied by acceleration. What is the forward force? It is W sine of 20 degree minus of resistive force into mass. Mass of the box was given to us, it was 65. So this will be 65 into acceleration is also given to us, that is 2.6. So we will be solving whole of this relation. Weight is given by mg, and mg से आप इसका weight निकाल लोगे, mass into gravitational field strength, or ultimately your value of r at the end is going to be resulted as 49 Newton. So your final answer will be 49 Newton. Yes, people, tell me, is this understandable? Guys, everyone is with me? आगे चलूं? Please speak up, make the session a bit interactive.
आगे चले सर.
Okay. Moving onwards, let's move on to next question. This is question number 4, right? So come to question number 4. Question number 4 says that there is a uniform plank A to B. So there's this is a uniform plank. It means its center of gravity. Today we discuss in the class the center of gravity will be acting at its center. So if this whole length is of 5 meter, so when it is acting at the center, so इसका weight कहाँ पर act कर रहा है? इसका मतलब it is acting at almost 2.5 meters. Question says there is a weight 200 Newton, and it is placed across a stream as shown in figure 3.1. So this is a figure 3.1. There are two forces acting. Figure A, at point A there is FA, at point B there is forces FB. One is FA, other is FB, and two downward forces are acting. So question says the as the man moves along the plank is always in equilibrium. तो हमेशा जो प्लैंक है वो हमेशा इक्विलिब्रियम में रहेगा. क्वेश्चन कहता है एक्सप्लेन व्हाई द सम ऑफ फोर्सेस एफ ए एंड एफ बी इज ऑलवेज कांस्टेंट नो मैटर वेयर द मैन स्टैंड ऑन द प्लैंक. तो कहीं पे भी ये बंदा मूव कर जाए तो व्हाई द सम ऑफ एफ ए एंड एफ बी इज ऑलवेज कांस्टेंट. तो इसका आंसर कैसे आप शुरू करोगे? यू आर गोइंग टू आंसर इट द रिजल्टेंट फोर्स, क्योंकि ये इक्विलिब्रियम के अंदर है. तो जब भी बॉडी इक्विलिब्रियम में होती है, द रिजल्टेंट फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन द बॉडी, द रिजल्टेंट फोर्स acting on plank is 0, what is the resultant force which is acting on a plank? The resultant force acting on a plank will be equals to 0. So sum of upward forces will be equals to sum of downward forces. So FA plus FB will always be equals to 880 plus 200. So this is the reason why it stays constant, right? The weight of a plank plus weight of a man will always be equals to same. Are you understanding? Next question says, it question कहता है the man stands a distance of 0.5 meter from end A. So let's say there is an end A और इसके दरमियान जहाँ पे man A stand कर रहा है, this distance is 0.5 meters. The distance from point A till 880 is how much? The distance from end A is 0.5 meter. We have to use the principle of moments to calculate the magnitude of FB. So आपने क्या फाइंड आउट करना है, यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट द फोर्स ऑफ एफ बी. अब देखो इस पूरे सवाल के अंदर हमें ये नहीं बताया हुआ कि वेयर शैल वी बी टेकिंग द पिवट. So first we are when such scenario appears where we are not stated about the pivot point, so we will be considering the pivot on our own. So let's say we are taking the moments about point A. So first you are going to state taking moments about point A. So it means A हमारा क्या बन गया? Now A became our pivot. So when A became our pivot, now you are going to see which one is going to create a clockwise and which one is going to create anti-clockwise. So this one will be creating an anti-clockwise moment, right? This one will be creating a clockwise moment, and this 880 Newton will also be creating a clockwise moment. And hence, due to force Fa, there will be no moments. Why there is no moment? Because force is exerted on the pivot. So when a force is exerted on a pivot, there is going to be no moment. So let's see how we are going to apply the law of conservation of
माँ
how we are going
पानी लेके
to
इधर
apply,
आओ.
how we are going to apply the principle of moments over here. So we are going to apply the principle of moments. So principle of moments says sum of sum of clockwise moments will be equals to sum of anti-clockwise moments. So we will be finding the sum of clockwise moments will be equals to sum of anti-clockwise moments. So let's see how many of
मुझे
them
ना
are
वहां से टॉपिकल पकड़ा.
clockwise one.
बड़ी जल्दी करो, ख्याल
500
आ रहे, मैं देख
Newton.
रही हूँ जूदू
Please,
पेपर आ रहे, बिल्कुल हद हो रही है.
क्लास अभी हो रही है, मैं क्या करूँ इसमें?
please close your mic.
केड़ा टॉपिकल?
बच्ची
Everyone, please mute your mics. All right. So next what you have to do is there is going to be a 200 Newton force downward. There is a 880 Newton force downward, right? So this is a clockwise moment. This is a clockwise moment. And this is an anti-clockwise moment. So हम sum of clockwise moment निकालते हैं. First of all, what will be my clockwise moment? The clockwise moment for this is 200. And what is the distance till the pivot? This my distance will be 2.5 क्योंकि पूरे की लेंथ कितनी है 5. तो हाफ कितना हो जाएगा 2.5. सो दिस इज 200 into 2.5 plus there is another distance. What is another distance? 880 into 0.5. That is also creating a clockwise moment. 880 into 0.5, and this will be equals to anti-clockwise moment. What is an anti-clockwise moment? This is FB into 5. So this will be equals to FB, F of B multiply by 5. So we are going to resolve and solve whole of this relation, and our FB will be equals to, जब आप इस सबको सॉल्व करोगे कैलकुलेटर के ऊपर मैं डायरेक्ट वैल्यू लिख देता हूँ, और FB will be coming equivalent to 188 newtons. So this much force will be 188 Newton. We have simply applied the principle of moments to this, right? Okay, next question. Next question is pretty interesting. Part B. Part B says the variation with distance x of force FA is shown. तो ये हमें क्या show कर रहा है? Like as the distance is increasing, we can witness the force is decreasing, and this graph is for FA force. So let's just recall this diagram. It means that x is increasing. What is x? X is this much distance. Let me change the color. What is x over here? The x is this distance. So it says as the x is increasing, the force Fa decreases. Like this force is getting down. This force is decreasing. So as we are moving onward, what will happen to force B? The force B will begin to increase. So if force B begins to increase, how will this be shown? This is going to be shown with a straight line in a similar behavior. ये कहाँ से increase करेगा? It will begin to increase from 100 and it will move till this value from where it began. So this is how you are going to draw its graph. So it says sketch a graph to show the variation of FB force. So if FA force decreases, FB force increases. Are you understanding?
Sir, can you explain this one again?
But you may just see this is being recorded. You may just see the video again and again. Okay, see, I can explain you again. So see, this person is near to the point A. So there is one force exerted here, FA, right? So if fa is, it says that as the person is proceeding onwards, like x is increasing, if x is increasing, your force is going to decrease. But what will happen to force B? The force B will begin to increase. So similar relation is going to be shown in the graph. So agar, if one of the force is decreasing with the increase in distance, right? Distance is rising. So here the force was decreasing. That was Fa. So what happens to the force P? The force P begins to increase from this point till this point, right? Shall I move on? All right, I am moving to the next question. I am having less time. Next part is again related to that specific trolley question. So never mind, let's disclose some kinematics part is also going to be involved in this specific question. So question number 5, a trolley moves down a slope. So there's a trolley which is moving down in a velocity of v. It is moving with velocity v as shown in figure 4.1. The slope makes an angle of 25 degree with the horizontal. A constant resistive force acts up the trolley. So it means that there is a resistive force named as Fr is acting on the trolley. At time t equals to 0, the trolley is having a velocity of 0.5 down the slope, and time t equals to 4 seconds, trolley is having a velocity of 12 meter per second down the slope. Question says find the acceleration. So acceleration is found from what formula? Final velocity minus initial velocity whole divided by time. So what is the final velocity? Final velocity will be considered at time 4 seconds. So this will be equals to 12. What is the initial velocity? The initial velocity is 0.5 whole divided by, and how much time this is happening? This is happening in a time of 4 seconds. So this will appear as what? 11.5 over 4, and this will be approximately equivalent to 2.9, which is approximately equivalent to 3 meter per second square. Guys, is this understandable? This is a simple application for the formula of acceleration. So this is how acceleration will be found. Next question says calculate the distance x moved by the trolley from time t equals to 0 to 4 seconds. So here we are going to use the equation of motion. So how we are going to find out how we are going to apply the equation of motion in this specific case. So let's see what happens. In this specific case, the time given to us is what? The time given to us is 4 seconds, right? Apart from this, we have just found the acceleration. Acceleration, we are going to take the acceleration as, for instance, 3 meter per second square. What else is given? We need to find out the distance traveled by the trolley. And acceleration is, what is the final velocity? Final velocity at 4 second is 12 meter per second. And what is the initial velocity given to us? The initial velocity given to us is 0.5 meter per second, right? So let's use to find out x, we can use the formula 2as is equals to v square minus u square. So this will becomes 2 into 3 into x. And what is v square will be? V square will be 12 square minus 0.5 whole square. So if we are going to solve this for x, the x will be reaching around 25 meters. This x will be equals to 25 meters. Now it says sketch the variation with time tx moving down the trolley. So we can see कि as it is moving down the trolley, speed is increasing. So हमने distance time graph बनाना है. So distance time graph or displacement time graph will be drawn in what way? The distance or displacement time graph will always be drawn in a, sorry. Okay, so this graph will be drawn in what specific way? Let's say till 4 seconds. So graph will be drawn with an increasing curve. क्योंकि this is a displacement time graph and the gradient of displacement time graph is what? It is a velocity. So with every instant, the velocity of the graph is happening what? It is increasing. Its gradient is increasing. So that is why its graph will be drawn in this way. Is this okay? Please speak up. Yes, people, shall I move on? Is this fine?
Yes.
Okay,
सर
move.
ये ग्राफ एक बार फिर से समझा सकते हैं?
जी दोबारा समझा देता हूँ बेटा, ये डिस्टेंस टाइम ग्राफ बनाना है। तो देखो, जब यहाँ ये ट्रॉली जब नीचे आ रही है, नीचे की तरफ मूव कर रही है, तो स्पीड क्या होगी? स्पीड इंक्रीज कर रही है। ठीक है, और हमें वैल्यू से भी पता चल रहा है स्टार्टिंग में स्पीड 0.5 थी और नीचे आते हुए स्पीड 12 मीटर पर सेकेंड हो गई। तो जब स्पीड इंक्रीजिंग, स्पीड का ग्राफ हम डिस्टेंस टाइम ग्राफ पे कैसे बनाते हैं? इट इज ड्रॉन विद एन इंक्रीजिंग कर्व। रिकॉल द ग्राफ्स, काइनेमेटिक से ग्राफ खोल के दोबारा पढ़ लें। इज इट ओके?
यस सर।
Okay, moving onwards. Next, it shows the mass of the trolley is 2 kg, right? We are having a mass of a trolley as 2 kg. Question says, show that the component of the weight of the trolley down the slope is 8.3 Newton. So we need to find out the component of the weight of the trolley which is down the slope. How we will be finding out the component of the weight? So let's say this is the diagram with us. Let me change the color. Okay. So we know weight is acting in what direction? Weight is acting in a downward direction. And this is going to be one of the component and this is going to be the other component. This is 90-degree and this one will be 25-degree, right? So we want the component which is along the x-axis, right? So the component which will be along where this is the weight. So the component along x-axis will be what? It will be W sine of 25-degree. So the component of weight along x-axis will be what? It will be equals to W sine of 25. So the component of the weight of the trolley down the slope will be W sine of 25. We are provided with the mass. Mass will be equals to mg sine of 25-degree. So mass is how much? 2 into 9.81 into sine of 25-degree. And this will be equals to what? It will be equals to almost a value of 8.3 Newton. Okay, this will be a value which will be equal to 8.3 Newton. Next, it says calculate the resistive force. So you have to find out the resistive force. अब resistive force कैसे find out करती है? Resultant force, net force will be equals to mass multiplied by acceleration. So it means forward force minus of resistive force. This will be equals to mass multiplied by acceleration. So what is the forward force we found? The forward force is going to be 8.3. So it can be written 8.3. What is the backward force? Fr. What is the mass? It is 2. And what is the acceleration? We just found the acceleration in the previous part. and that acceleration we just found was 2.9. Approximate value of acceleration was taken as 2.9. So when we will be solving this for FR, our FR value will be equating or will be near to 2.5 newtons. So our resistive force is 2.5 newtons. Is this fine? I have just used Newton's second law of motion. Yes, guys, shall I move on? Yes, people, shall I move on? Please speak up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, moving onwards. Come to the next question. Okay, this question is related to young modulus. You may skip for the time being. It is our next chapter, deformation. उसमें हम पढ़ेंगे. Okay, question number 7. I do believe we have already done it in the questions during the lesson. So now you have to jump to what question? Just give me a minute to check it out. ये question 7 आप खुद solve करोगे? ठीक है, it's easy, it's doable. Uh, Question number 28. This is related to density. For the time being, I'm not touching this question. Next, क्वेश्चन 9 में अभी हमने टॉर्क एक क्लास में रहता है, कल मैंने वहाँ पढ़ाना है, तो फिर टॉर्क पढ़ा के ये क्वेश्चन हम सॉल्व करेंगे. Okay, this question is related to Archimedes principle and upthrust force. So for the time being, you may skip this part. Directly come to question number. Guys, come to question number 15. Okay, 13 is simple. ये आप खुद सॉल्व कर लीजिएगा. Come to question number 15. Okay, yes. Come to question number 15. Okay, as this session is going to end in 3 minutes, so please you have to reconnect it afterwards. So question 15 says, what are the two conditions for the object to be in equilibrium? So whenever two of the objects are in equilibrium, what are the two conditions? The resultant force is zero. And what is the second condition? The resultant moments is zero. Right? These are the two conditions of equilibrium which you should be knowing to write them down in the paper set. Okay, next question, question number B. I hope everyone is with me on question number 15, and question number 15 is on page number 199. So we are on page number 199. Okay, this is the main part of the question. Question says a sphere of weight 2.4. So this is a weight which is having a 2.4 Newton is suspended by the wire from a fixed point P. So this is the fixed point P. A horizontal string is used to hold the sphere in equilibrium. So it is in a state of equilibrium with the wire at an angle of 53 degree to the horizontal as shown in figure 3.1. So this is a figure which is being shown to us in figure 3.1. So there is a tension T, there is a force F, and there is a downward weight which is 2.4 Newton. So tension in the string, question says find the tension in the string. So first of all, what we are going to do, we will be finding the components for tension. So what are going to be the components of tension? First of all, the horizontal component of the tension will be this. It is T cos of 53 degree. And what will be the vertical component of the tension? The vertical component of the tension will be T sine of 53 degrees. Right, so we have just resolved this tension into its component. अब वो हमें कह रहा है above part में कि the object is in a state of equilibrium. So if the object is in a state of equilibrium, what it means? It means sum of upward forces equals to sum of downward forces. तो tension find करनी है, तो upward force क्या हो जाएगी? T sine of 53 degree. This is the upward force will be equals to downward force. What is the downward force? The downward force is the weight, which is equals to 2.4 newtons. So here tension will be equals to what value? 2.4 divided by sine of 53. 3 degree. And this tension will appear as what? The value of this tension will be equals to 3.0 Newton. So whenever you are going to get the answer, always write it in the form of at least two significant figures. Next, it says find the force which is exerted by the string on the sphere. So what next you will be doing? Again, it is in the state of equilibrium. When it is in the state of equilibrium, so sum of right forces equals to sum of left forces. So F is acting on the left and right पे कौन सी force लग रही है? T cos of 53 degree. So we are pretty aware about the tension force. This is F. Tension is 3 multiplied by cos of 53 degree. So what will be the value of force we are going to get? The value of force will be 1.8 Newton.